So at the end of the series, I just want to show you a handy trick. What's especially helpful is to split up your tracks into groups like we've done here. So for example, all the percussion is going into a percussion group folder, and then you can minimize this so it serves two purposes. You can minimize the amount of tracks that you see on your screen, plus you've got a volume control for that whole group. So you can take all the percussion and change the volume, plus add mix processing like I showed you in the last video. Then on the track, you can also go in and add some different automation. For example, on the guitar track here, on the overall guitar track, we're doing some volume automation. Now what really works well is to use VCA faders. So these act as master faders. So all my guitars are going to this guitar VCA fader, all my percussion is going to this percussion VCA fader, and so on. And the beauty of this is that you have master control over that whole section. So for example, on this guitar, I've done some volume automation, but what happens if you want to tweak the overall volume? Then you can just go to this VCA master fader and adjust the level accordingly. And even better yet, I've made a screen set that pulls up a floating window. I can quickly and easily make adjustments to this mix. So for example, if you're playing back, maybe I want to mute the percussion or increase the level, or maybe mute the brass or drop the strings. So it just gives you control over the overall instrumentation for your mix. Maybe you've got a music director or producer sitting in the studio with you listening back, and you just need to make some changes to each section. Maybe they just want to hear the guitars a bit lower or the brass a bit up, and you can use something like this to make the changes. And let me just quickly show you how this is done in Logic. If I open up the environment, I've made a layer with the 5 VCA folders. Let me just delete this and show you how I did it. So I'll delete this layer. That's perfectly fine. Now, let me go to the mix layer. And these are the VCA faders. So I'm going to select them. And let's open up another environment window and create a new layer. Let's call it VCAs. And then you can just simply drag these in. And there you have those VCA faders. But what's even better is you can go to View and choose Frameless Floating Window. Then you've got these VCA faders, and you can just maybe move them around so they fit nicely in this window. It looks pretty good. And then you can save this as a screen set. So if I jump to my first screen set, I've got my standard view. And if I jump to this, I've got this floating window where I can quickly and easily make adjustments to the levels of my VCA faders. So it's just a great way to have control over the overall level of your mix. And like I said, the beauty is if you have a client with you or someone listening to music like a movie director or producer, if they're listening to the track with you, you can quickly make changes to the mix so that you can give them the impression that they want. So that's a series for you, from creating the initial motif idea to arranging, editing, and mixing it. So I hope that you've had fun and that you've learned a lot. Now, if you want to know more about cinematic epic music and templates, you can check out my other series on Groove 3. Plus, also check out further videos on music production and mixing to take your compositions even further.